My name is Dale Nakasone, and I'm an instructor at Kapiʻolani Community College in the Information Technology program. And, I'd like to speak to you a little bit about careers in data science and data analytics. But first, let me just kind of give you my mantra. Yeah. Uh, I'm going to borrow some of the words from a very famous comedian by the name of Sam Kinison in his role as Professor Turgid. Some of the words because I changed a little bit. So it goes like this. I know a lot of people think of data as just facts. It's just information about the past, but not me. I mean, I hold data very sacred. Sacred. The way a farmer holds the earth and looks at it, sacred. The way a Christian holds his Bible, sacred. The way a lot of people hold their marriage sacred. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about data. Now, let me go over some career titles and just kind of go through a little bit so we can kind of make sure that we're all on the same footing here, yeah? Data engineer, data analyst, data scientist. What's all these guys? What do they do? Well, data engineers, in the past, we used to call them database administrator, data architect. So really, they were really good at setting up the database, the data tables, those kinds of things, making sure that there's security around it, making sure that the people that could connect to it had the opportunity to connect to it. But really now that role's been expanded some because of something called big data, and I'll be going into that in a bit. But this person, the data engineer, is really concerned with maintaining the data, making sure it's operational, and that it can be used for data mining, data information. Now, on the top end, and this is really somebody with, really advanced training, maybe even at the master's or doctorate level, is someone called a data analyst. Now, the data analyst is a person that can look at that information and make some sense of it. So I know that a lot of us been watching the numbers for the COVID-19, the coronavirus, and we've been watching it, and there's a whole bunch of numbers that pops up, number of cases, and those kinds of things. So that's data. Now, the data analysts in biochemistry or biotechnology, they would be able to really make some sense of that data, and they have specific training to do that. Yeah, so it's really a high-level person that they see the data and they can make sense of it. Now, mostly for my side, for my program, I train the data scientists. And a data scientist is really a soup to nuts kind of person where they really take a hold of the data and they can take it from end to end, both storing the data and do some modeling and do some what they call data visualization. Yeah, so to do that, some of the programming languages that's very important for a data scientist are SQL, which is a database querying language, Python, which is a very popular programming language these days, and R. R is another programming language that's very popular, used for analytical purposes. So again, my focus is really on data science for my students, right? Data science, really a soup to nuts, yes, is really the person that bridges between the database administrator and the data analytics. So this is the person right in the middle of all of that, yeah? Why should you become a data scientist? Well, let's take a look. There's going to be a huge demand. There is a demand now, but they're projected to be a huge demand in the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah, 11.5 data scientists is going to be needed. With the advent of things like artificial intelligence, big data, that's going to help to create this growth. Data scientists, do well financially. They get paid pretty well, and kind of depends on what you'll be doing For most of the data scientists, they require at least a bachelor's degree. And if you're a data geek like me, data is fun. It's fascinating. I love doing it. And you can make a difference in the world, and you can help the world to understand what data does. Yeah. Also, again, there's by this year, sometime 28% increase in data scientists. There's going to be a huge demand for that. And the industries that really focus in on data scientists and data analytics are, the finance and insurance industry, information technology, professional services. But, what a lot of people forget that it is pretty much used by everybody. Everybody's going to use it. Whether you're in healthcare and you're a nurse, you're a doctor, whether you're in legal, you're an attorney or a paralegal, whether you're in farming, whether you're in culinary, all those kind of things. Everybody's going to need data science knowledge. You're going to need it to understand what you do and how your business is doing it. Yeah. Now, the modern data scientist, and I'm just going to kind of put up, what's required of a data scientist, right? So, the modern data scientist, math is a requirement. You will need to take a stats course or two to really understand statistics. Yeah, things like mode, medium, mode and medium, and those kind of things, as well as standard deviation. You're going to have to understand that. Yeah, that's part of what we do. The programming part, yes, a computer geek. If you're a computer geek, that helps, right? You're going to have to learn several programming languages: Python, R, SQL, as well as some more advanced, rather new database technologies such as NoSQL, as well as something called Hadoop. Those are kind of important things that you might want to learn. But you also got to learn and be able to communicate. Domain knowledge is important. But soft skills, can you work in a team? Because as a data scientist, you will need to work as in a team, as well as communicate, data visualization. So what is data visualization? When you do an Excel chart, that's data visualization. Data science takes that technology, that knowledge, and puts it on steroids. It really takes advanced use of things for data visualization. You should enjoy working with computers and looking at data. If this is part of what you like to do, yeah, then maybe data scientist is for you. For example, I think a lot of us we look at certain kind of data every day and don't think of it as data. For example, if we're into sports, we may like baseball statistics, or if we're into politics, we like to see election results, or if we're into different kinds of history. And so we see what kinds of progress man has made over the years. Yeah. But what we're really looking at is data. And if you enjoy that, you may want to consider a career in data science. Now, this is just another way of looking at data science, is just to have some fun. If you got some hacking skills, or you like math, or you got some knowledge of pretty much anything, yeah, you may want to consider. And these are the components that make up what's right in the middle, called data science. Yeah, data science. Now, let me kind of shift gears a little bit to something called big data. So what is big data? Well, it's big. Okay, so how do we come to that? Well, in today's world, yeah, everything that we touch pretty much generates data. Yeah, every time we make a cell phone call, every time we text, every time we tweet, every time we do any kind of social media, we are creating data that is collected and, believe it or not, is being used. If you're in certain industry like medicine, every time a client checks in, every time you have a new patient, you have to maintain data on that patient. Industry, how's our manufacturing? Do we need to increase manufacturing items? Do we need to decrease it? What is it our customers want? What about cars? Yeah, the driverless car is coming, right? The driverless car is coming. And in order for that to work, it has to capture a lot of information, a lot of data. Now, the biggest thing is about retail. So retail is a big generator and user of big data. So every time you do online shopping, every time you buy stuff, if you have a membership card, data is collected on you. And it's also collected data on the product. Now, characteristics of a data science and data scientist, if you focus on one or the other. Now, generally for my classes, I do teach just a normal data science, right? I'm working with the complete data set. My data files are clean. I know what I want to give out, what kind of reports I have to do. It's manageable. My findings are manageable. But in big data, and that's the coming world. Yeah, big data is where the big jobs are going to be, where you're going to have to collect all of this data from everything, right? Not only from internet captures, but also from customer data sets and all those kind of things. And that's where a big data scientist is going. Yeah, and what he or she needs to do is make sure that they are knowledgeable of the big data set and can manage it. Okay, so how can I get started? Well, the answer is come to Kapiʻolani Community College, of course. Yeah, these are the kind of degrees and certificate programs that we have. We have your standard information technology associates of science, but we also have several certificates that you may be interested in. Especially, we have a certificate of competence in data science, right? So we have courses that can get a student started and knowledgeable about this role called data science. Yeah, these are our different course offerings. Again, right now the thing that's really hot in terms of information technology is security, right? Cybersecurity is a big thing. There's a lot of jobs, there's a lot of need, and we teach those courses, yes. But we also have the full spectrum of the IT program, including databases, including website development, including programming. Yeah, so these are some of the courses that we have. Now, the recommended data science courses, again, basic computer science, ICS 101, Math 115, which is Introduction to Statistics, and then Introduction to Database, Data Analytics with R programming language, and Data Analytics with Python. That's what we teach at Kapiʻolani Community College. Other courses that may be beneficial to you, programming with Python, as well as database analytics in big data. Then what? Okay, now this should be in place by fall 2021. Now, no guarantee, but this is definitely what we've been working on, and hopefully we can get it started, which is we'll have an articulation agreement with the University of Hawaii at West Oahu with the Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration with a concentration in data analytics. Now, some of the courses that are currently being offered there, and we will tie into these courses: business intelligence, programming with Python, programming with R, data analytics in the cloud using Amazon Web Services or Azure, and machine learning, which is a very important part of data science, is right around the corner. Any questions or answers? This is my contact information, and I'm going to stop sharing and see if there are any questions for me. Dana?
Great, thank you, Dale. So a question that we have received in all sessions, and again here, is related to the sort of salary ranges that a new student can be looking forward to.
Yeah, and again, I went to a little bit over here, the median income for data science job. Now, again, this number comes from, well, I'm going to share my screen again. Yeah. And this number over here, 110,000, that comes from Ford magazine. And really, they're generally mainland type of numbers and that kind of stuff. Generally, the salary range is from, as a starting data science with a bachelor's degree, starting range is between $60,000 to $80,000. Yeah. As you get more advanced degrees, and usually the advanced degrees look like this. They're in specific industries. So you have an MBA, or you have a master's in biology, or you have a master's in political science, and you know what the numbers mean. Yeah. Those guys demand 100,000 or more. Yeah. For a pure data science guy, that all you're doing, you're working with the data. You're working for a big company like a bank, and you're working with the data. Yeah, those guys earn between $100,000 and $110,000. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for expanding on that. A follow-up question to the point you made about how in demand this area is. How does that look in Hawaii specifically in terms of job prospects?
Okay. So again, like what do I have anything, like here, and I, just kind of demand. Hawaii, yeah, we don't have a lot of the big companies that's going to require hundreds of data science, right? We're not going to require, we don't have that kind of company, but you will find that many of our companies here will have need for a data person, right? Or if the company is not that big, and I'm talking about maybe a company of 100 or 200, what's going to happen is what we find in IT a lot, which is the company will hire IT people, and that IT person will have to wear many hats, including sysadmin, and system administration, database administration, as well as data science, data analytics work. So we're showing that every day that our students, as they enter a company, they're going to have to be able to do many different things, and we do that. We do provide that kind of training. But if a person is motivated by data, KCC, we provide the foundation, right? And we're hoping that that student continues on, gets a bachelor's degree, and if possible, they can go on to get a master's degree where data becomes central to what they do. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm checking to see that I haven't missed any questions. It looks like that was it. I think you covered the material so thoroughly. Do you have any last thoughts for these prospective students? And we have a few counselors who've joined us also who will be reaching out to the students they work with.
No, again, I'm passionate about data. Some people find that strange, but I'm passionate about it, and I try to convey that to my students. I try to convey the passion. Yeah. So and I've had several of my students become equally passionate, and they're eager to begin careers in data. So that that makes me happy, and they're out there, they're getting their degrees, their bachelor's degrees and the like, and they're going to pursue this. Yeah. And I'm extremely supportive because I think this can be had for a career. I think right now IT cybersecurity is in IT, that's the hot field, cybersecurity. But in 5 to 10 years, the hot skill in IT will be data. Yeah, data analytics, data science, data engineering. Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much, Dale. Thank you for sharing your expertise, your experience, and your passion for data. And thank you to the participants for joining us. Mahalo, everyone.
Okay.